Hi all, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and I almost didn't make this video because we went out today, and before we went out, like last night and everything else, very stressful time. And then we went out today, and when we got back, I said, oh, when we get in I'll make a video, but I thought, oh, better watch qualifying first. So we'd recorded it and I fast forwarded it, and we were sitting there watching it, and I could not stay awake. And I had my cardigan on, which I was driving in because I didn't want to drive. I don't like driving in a coat, but it was freezing today. So I've got this kind of cardigan that's all fluffy, and I was driving in that, and I'd kept it on. And when we got home, the house was pretty cold, so we put the heating on. And as we were having a cup of tea, watching it, I couldn't stay awake, and I just kept nodding. And at one point, Gary put his cup down, really, to wake me up. And I said, you know, the weirdest thing is now, things have changed. I used to be tired, but I could stay awake more or less all night. But now I get sort of tired. I am just gone, you know. I cannot stay awake. And anyway, I didn't see very much of it. I just saw little bits. So at the end, well, as it was coming to an end, Gary said, I'm going to bed, but it's gone 9. I went, okay. So as he's been working, you know, it's kind of, you know, late enough for him. So I said goodnight, and then when I watched a bit more, and then I watched a bit of the chat, I turned it off, and it was only 7:30. I thought, what's he been looking at? So I was going to go see him and say to him, do you realise it's actually not even 8 o'clock yet? And he was snoring. So I left him, and I thought, oh, I'll just go and make a video. So, you know, if I just suddenly, you know why? Wait a minute, it's a really tiring day. It started last night. This was part of the culprit, this card here. Now, you get this app on your phone for Ambassador, and that's the company that we're going on the trip with. And you get to check in, you get to put in all your passport information, and then 72 hours before you get to do another little bit, and then you have to register your cards, one each. I registered my card, it was fine. Tried to register Gary's, but he can't remember how to get into his internet banking. And they just take a 1 penny transaction, and you have to okay it in the app. So that's fine for me. I just okayed it. It was done. But Gary doesn't remember how to get into the app. We've lost the book that had the password in, and he cannot do it, and we cannot seem to change his password. But you know, it's got a really annoying bank app. It's very old-fashioned, you know, whereas mine, I just press to go in it, it gets a picture of me and I'm in. Gary's, it's the one, I would give us the 3rd, 6th and 9th letter of your magic password. It's got a password and memorable word. And it's just like, it's ridiculous. So anyway, couldn't verify it. Well, it won't let you go on to the next stage, which is boarding passes, unless you put cards in. Even if you just only have one person in the family with a card. I don't know how you do that, but it won't let you go any further without the other card. So as luck would have it, we had this card. So I spent last night, after Gary had gone to bed, until about 3 in the morning searching for this card, which we don't use. And I thought, they can take a penny, it doesn't really matter. So and I'm in charge of that banking app, so I could just agree it. I looked everywhere, and about 2:30-ish, Gary kind of got up to go to the loo, and he said, why are you not asleep? And I said, I've told him, and he went, it's in my drawer. I was like, give it to me. So he gave it to me, and I did it, and that was like, oh, right, I'm going to go to bed now. So I finally got to bed, and I woke up about 9:30, which was a lot later than I wanted to, considering that we go tomorrow, and we didn't have a lot of time today because we were going out. So we had to go. I asked them to print out all of the paperwork for the trip because we lost it. So we had to go all the way there, pick up, which was Hempstead Valley, in the opposite direction to Ashford, where we were going for today. We went there, picked that up. Gary needed to buy some trousers and jeans, which he did, and some shoes. And then we got in the car and we drove to Ashford, and we were meeting up with Paul, Victoria and Harley, Michael, Eleonora and Tyler and me and Gary. So we and it rained and it was freezing. So normally speaking, I've got quite a few coats that are warm, you know, just so they don't have a hood. So I thought, oh, I'll just wear my raincoat, and it hasn't got any padding. It's just so cold. So I did have some gloves, but every day I've taken out scarf, gloves, hats and warm coat. And the one day that I really needed those things, I just had the flimsiest raincoat, and I did have gloves, that was all. Anyway, so we had to wait an hour for a table, because you get one of those, you get on the list and then they call you and or get in touch with you and it's time. So for an hour we walked around the shops, and so I bought another pair of boots. I haven't got a clue where I'm going to keep the box. Seriously, I was too short to carry the box because it was so long it would have dragged on the floor, because I would have had to hold it up like this. The box was ridiculously long. Now they are thigh high boots sort of thing, above the knee type boots. And the weirdest thing is, I have a pair, but they're getting on a bit, and they were lovely and comfortable, and then they went through a very uncomfortable phase, and I thought the other day, I'm just going to wear those, and they were lovely and comfortable again, which I don't understand, but they are looking shiny in places, like, because they're suede-y, and you know, they're looking a bit old. So I did need a new pair, and as luck would have it, I had some ones that when we went looking before I didn't see, or they didn't have them, so I got them anyway, an extra pair of boots. But seriously, you could get a small family living in that. I always say a small family of illegal immigrants living in that box. And I managed to cut myself, that's a plaster by the way with a bit of blood on it, looking for this card last night. I've got this little cupboard, and the handles that open the drawer and the doors are kind of sharp. They don't make things properly anymore. They don't think that sharp. We won't do that. We need some like that rounded, and it just tore my skin. And I should take it off now, but there's hairs on my arm. It's not going to be very pleasant. Oh, hang on, it's not too bad. Oh, it's off now. I think that's it's not open anymore, so it doesn't look very nice though. Look at that. Hard to see it, isn't it? But yeah, I keep doing that. I keep tearing my skin on things. It might be getting as thin as tissue paper in my old age, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, we had a nice dinner. We had Nando's. And Tyler was so excited to see Harley. He gave him about 3 massive cuddles and told him he loved him so much. And then he gave me one and told me he loved me so much. I got very excited. And I think it might have been the Coca-Cola that was making him a bit excited. But he does love Harley. He really, really does. Loves playing with him. But we had a nice time. And it was a bit rainy and a bit cold. And I drove home. Gary made me drive. Men. Anyway, and that's it. That's the saga. But that's not actually the whole story. While we were out, my hair's got all fluffy. Look, it's the rain. While we were out, I got a message. Due to Storm Dara, our sailing is now going to be delayed. Oh my God. First we get flights delayed for 3 days, and now we've got Storm Dara delaying our sailing. So by 6 hours. So in a way, as long as they get, you know, light another boiler like they did on the Titanic and we get there quicker, then that's fine by me, because it means that I'll have longer to pack, because I haven't had today to do any of that. And if I thought, oh, I'll do it when I get home, I mean, if I could stay awake long enough, it'll be a major feat. So, you know, that's not going to happen. So yeah, the bit being delayed, Gary said, well, does that mean that we all miss some of it? And I went, no, they'll just go faster. I should imagine they'll just put their foot down. You put your foot down on the ship. I don't know. But, you know, it's just another boiler and hit an iceberg or something. Cold enough to tell you, it's freezing out there. Fluffy's not happy. She's constantly meowing. She wanted to go out, but she wouldn't go out in it. And now I think the noise of it she's not liking. She had loads of food, so she's not starving or anything. But she's just not a happy pussycat. No. So let's do the book. Let's do the book. So it's still weekendy day, isn't it? I'm losing track. It's so busy, that's why. Let's just do double Grogu. Yeah, let's just do that because it's the same picture, which was this one with the shippy. Boom. But this one, yeah, that's so much better. Let's do the jokey then. Unbelievable. Can't believe this last few days has been. But I said to Gary, I think you need to start helping me a little bit now, because in the days, I'll explain after this. Let me do this. Okay. At the Vagina Diary. God, I believe I just said that word on here. Motherhood fills your life with such joy, and at the same time it makes it so dull that you now look forward to things like having a Diet Coke. We limit our kids' screen time to 30 minutes a day, so however long it takes for me to get the longest possible nap in the middle of the day. Yoga was ruined for me when Downward Dog became my official butt wiping stance. That's quite funny. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Gone. Oh yeah, I did say to him, you know, since 1980 is when I met the boy's dad, and he couldn't even write a cheque. He couldn't do nothing for himself, and it's not changed. It's not changed at all. But since that day, I'd had to do everything. I mean, everything, not just for me, but for him. And then you're doing everything for the kids because they're little, and so you become the person that does everything for everyone. And then you kind of take on the you're doing it for your parents because they then get beyond it. So, and they're not in touch with the modern world because their world is, you know, older. So you're doing it for everyone, you know, everyone. So then as people drop off that doing it for them, you know, you don't do it for kids anymore. They can look after their own stuffs. Don't have my parents, but I still have me, Gary, and the ex, who I still have to do stuff for because he's, you know, he's never learned to do anything for himself. So, you know, just lately, things have been snowballing for me. Like, I was probably the one responsible for losing that little book with all the passwords in, because we went on holiday. And I know I took one with me, the newer one, but the old one is in a safe place. Never seen again. Never seen again. No idea where that is. And I have, believe me, looked behind cupboards. You know, I've looked everywhere and it's gone. It's like fairies come and took that away. It's just gone. So because of that has been a pain for a lot of things, you know. It's snowballed and snowballed, even to the extent that I couldn't get Gary to go on there and approve that 1p purchase. And I had a massive kerfuffle last night trying to, luckily there was another one, you know, and then I couldn't find that, but it wasn't strictly speaking my fault because it was in Gary's possession, but I thought I had it because it wasn't one we used, but I didn't. So I said, you know, you need to be a bit more the person who looks after all of the paperwork. So I'm, to be honest, I have been giving him more. So, you know, if I get anything through for the car, you're the keeper of the car documents. There you go. You can keep all this. So he has been doing that. I said, but, you know, I can't now. I've got too much going on in my brain with my shop and my channel and all the other things that happen. I can't now remember everything like I used to. You know, I used to remember so much. I had this massive capacity to just juggle everything, but it's dwindling. I said, so I cannot be the one now that has all of the stuff in their brain, you know. I said, so you need to be more helpful and keep certain things. So, you know, but he says, we did have the paperwork. We must have had it for some reason and not put it back. But, you know, could have made sure it got put back. So, you know, I'm asking him really to do those sort of things because I just cannot now stay on top of everything, you know, for everyone. I just can't do it. So I've got too much on. So yeah, hopefully we'll reset his blessed banking at some point when we get back, and he can keep his stuff together, which is what I'm hoping, really. I mean, I don't mind keeping it as a backup, but I don't really want to be responsible for losing his stuff, which is what I've done. Well, I think I have. It's just disappeared off this planet somehow. But yeah, anyway, I just thought, you know, you could not step up, that's the wrong word, but, you know, just help out a little bit with the keeping of stuff, because I've got too much of a cluttered life. I've got a cluttered mind, a cluttered room, a cluttered brain and a cluttered life, and it's just not orderly anymore. Some things are, but you know, I've got everything that I need for doing my business. I've got everything even that, you know, I need to be a little bit more with my receipts and stuff like that. I need to be a bit more, get some kind of procedures in place for keeping them. I've got lots of procedures in place for everything else, but I just need to tighten it all up a little bit. So yeah, kind of, you know, it's too, you know, when you spend hours searching for something that you don't even have, it's like, you know. So that's why I'm tired, I think, because, you know, it was stressful. B, I was up too late looking for a non-existent thing that I wasn't even in my possession, you know, just saying. But really windy out there today. Storm is raging. The wind is roaring. I think I'll be wearing earplugs in bed tonight because I won't sleep with that racket. You know, that's one thing about when you live in a place where you're in the countryside or it's remote like here. If it's loud like that, you hear everything. And when we first moved here, I'll never forget, my mum was terrified of the sound of the wind. And it frightened, I don't know why. I mean, we came from a city, I suppose, where, you know, you've got traffic noises and people around, and that didn't worry her. But the peace, quiet, darkness and wind, it was unnerving. But I can remember I couldn't bear to be in the pitch dark, and then as when I got a little bit older, I couldn't bear to have a chink of light. It's like, when did that change? I don't know, but it is weird. Got so used to being in the countryside, and when the one street light went off, it was pitch dark, that I got to like that. And so, do you remember clock radios? When everybody had one of those clock radios that woke them up in the morning with the super sound of Radio 1 or whatever you were listening to. But they had those luminous, usually green, occasionally red, but mostly green clocks on the front, digital clocks. You know what I used to do, because I couldn't bear them, and some of them had dimmers, but even on the dimmest setting it was still too much for me. So there's these sweets in the UK that you get them every Christmas. They're called Quality Street, and they're just like bonbons for you guys across the pond, and they're all different, and they've got like a coloured cellophane paper, and when you pull that open, inside is like a foil piece that goes around the actual chocolate, and that foil can be all different colours. So if it's a pink wrapper, a pink cellophane, then the actual silver paper is silver one side and pink on the other, so it looks more pink through the paper, through the cellophane. So I used to get the purple one, which was really dark, and I would double it up and then sellotape that in front of my clock radio, just so that I could still see it, but it was just not shiny, not bright. It was like a dull, and I could sleep then, but I couldn't bear it and then I couldn't stand the sound of a ticking clock. That's one thing that I just can't bear, a ticking clock. I don't know if it's just like, feels like your life's ticking away. Oh, it's been down there. But yeah, I can't sleep with the sound of ticking or anything like that. It's because we moved here and it was just so dark and so quiet, apart from occasionally windy. But anyway, it's beside the point, isn't it? I guess. So I can't believe it's that early, and I really just all I'm going to do when I've done this is go to bed. So Gary was asleep by about 7:30. He did think it was gone 9 though. I don't know quite how that happened. Just weird. It really is. So I bought myself another hat while I was out. I decided that the one that I got, the stripy one, was just too big. You could fit another head in there. I mean, how big are some people's heads that's a hat, you know? Even if you think, oh, I'll wear it as a slouchy, it's a bit too firm for that. I'll kind of play with it and maybe I'll wear it, but the other one is more up my street. It's much smaller and it's black with shiny stuff on it. So, you know, it sounds hideous, but it's not. It's quite nice. I saw it and thought, that's more my hat. So I did get that and probably wear that when we go away. The other one I don't think is really going to get an awful lot of wear, unless I wear two. Of course, it might be that cold. Don't think though, probably not. So yeah, we've got a delay now. We won't be sailing until, first of all, we were going to embark at 1:30. Now we're not getting on until 6 hours later, so 6:30 or, well, they've said 6 hours and they said 6:30, but that's 5 hours. So anyway, it'll be roughly about 5 or 6 hours. So yeah, that means it won't really get going because we're the early ones to get on our deck. So yeah, it means we won't really get going until perhaps midnight. Well, as long as they pick up a bit of speed though, because you know, it's not that far away. Maybe they were going to just go very slow. I don't know. It just, you know, I said, will we miss anything? And they said, if it was day one, I'd say yes, but not. It's, they'll make up the time. I went, oh, okay. So it'd be more like a speedboat. Perhaps, I don't know. I feel like there was something I should tell you, but heaven knows I can't remember. So I'm going to get off and upload this, and tomorrow there might not be a morning vlog. I don't know for sure. I mean, I might get time to record it before we go and that sort of thing, so that there is a possibility. But just in case there's not, it might be that I've just forgotten to upload it like I did before, or forgotten to put it on, or perhaps I didn't get the time. But as it is, I've lost one of my my phones that I normally record on. So I charged it, don't know where I put it. So See what I mean? My brain, everything's just so cluttered. I need just a bench where I do it, and it's all nice and neat. It's a lot neater in here because I went to town and just was looking for things, and so it is an awful lot clearer. Needs to stay that way. Anyway, Gary loves his scarf, by the way. He's well happy. I did give him the option to make it longer, but he said no, it's fine as it is. And yeah, he likes it, so that's good. I did get asked if I would do a tutorial, so maybe when we get back I'll give that a try. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.